Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, bringing you Game 5 of Group D of the 2004 ever OSL on GameNet Star League between Greatest Ones Oversky and Pantech, or what was that? Pantech X Curatel, I think. Pantech Curatel, something like that. Nada. Yeah, Pantech Curatel. There we go. I think later on they were called Pantech X or something like that, or maybe before this. I'm not sure. I think I talked about that in the video at the very beginning of this whole OSL when I kind of did an overview. I talked about the teams and how they evolved with different names and sponsors and what have you, but I don't remember all of it off the top of my head. But in any case, we got a nice ZVT, Zerg vs. Terran. We're going to see here. This is the map, if you do not remember, for some reason the name is slipping out of my head at the moment, but this is the map where you have an expansion that's kind of behind your main, up on the high ground, and we're actually going to have Nada just go ahead and show us that, just to remind us up. And then there's a little gap in the back there, and he's actually going to put a depot in the back to preemptively block that spot, so that way he can block his front as well, and maybe put a marine back there to make sure no Zerglings are going to sneak in the back door, basically, because that is blocking the entrance to the back from this very, very long, narrow high ground that goes along the entire right side of the map, and there's another one that goes along the entire left side of the map that connects the map in this weird, strange way. So, very prudent of him to put it over there. And now he's going to block his front with a barracks. So, no scout at all available for Oversky. He's not going to know at all what's happening in Nada's base. He might be able to harass that SCV, theoretically, as it jumps over. Nope, I'm just going to jump back into safe territory. Drone's taking some pot shots on the barracks. Might as well. Almost might as well just go home and start mining again, because he's not going to get in there. There's no way he's getting in there to find out what's going on. So, a little bit strange. And I think he's got an overlord on the way as well to do some scouting. So, but I guess that drone wants to maybe see if it can harass that SCV, if he can delay the barracks a little bit. Okay, this is interesting. So Oversky's actually put his second base at the top expansion, and I believe that's because... Actually, I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's so that he can protect against things going up around the back door behind his base by having his expansion up there. It may have something to do with... I thought there's a gas. I think there's a gas at your back expansion, right? Is it only minerals? Is that why he's doing it? I actually have completely forgotten. I apologize for this. It's been a long week, ladies and gentlemen. I was basically working like 80 hours, maybe 100 hours during the last week before doing the science festival that I mentioned in the video that I was being a producer on last week. And, you know, it's been a few days, but it's still, maybe my brain is still recovering from that. It's a good excuse, right? But in any case, Oversky is taking that base. I'm curious to see if he's going to take a third base after. Well, I mean, he wouldn't take a third base right now without knowing what's going on, but he does have an overlord in the base, and I think he scouted that Nada has not taken an expansion, so wouldn't expect him to do that. And whoa, oh, there's a sneaky SCV. Sneaky SCV hiding in the corner of Oversky's base. This marine is looking for that overlord. The overlord's like, oh crap, I gotta run. Proverbially a run, at least. He's not actually, I don't think overlords have legs, but that's okay. We love him anyways. But yeah, that sneaky SCV in his base is like hiding and waiting for the right moment so that he can actually run out and scout the base, I think, and see what's going on when the tech would be constructed, basically, right? It doesn't do any good to scout now, because he's not going to really see a whole lot. But if he waits for the lair to finish, then he can see, okay, is there a Hydralis Den? Is there a Spire in the main or something like that? He can see what kind of tech is happening. So, very, very cool move there by Nada. Although, it looks like, has that SCV already moved out of that position? Looks like maybe it has. Yep, it already moved. JK. And he's actually going to go up and scout this. And maybe it scouted the main already and then decided to go to scout this extra base. But he does see that the Hydralis Den is there. This Vulture is coming in here at just the right moment to pick off some easy drones as well. 3 drone kills so far. Very, very nice. And now Nada's getting his extra base up at the top location. And, okay, yeah, I don't see a gas there. So that's what, okay. I wasn't crazy. Well, I probably am going crazy anyway. But, regardless, I had remembered correctly, even though I second-guessed myself, that there wasn't a gas at the back expansion. Whoa! Vulture gets picked off. And for a second, I thought it was the drones that did it, but it was probably the Hydralisk that did it there. Finished it off. Yep, the 1 kill on that Hydra. Well done, Hydra. Hero Hydralisk. And Nada is just going ahead and building up his forces here. We got more barracks going down. So it looked like, you know, getting this tank out. Maybe he was thinking about getting some mech going on. He's actually forced a Hydro Scout and a Sunken Colony as well to deal with the mech that's going on. And a Spire as well? Interesting. Interesting. Is he going lurkers into mutas instead of the other way around? Is he even getting lurker tech? Did he just get a Hydro Stand to get a couple Hydras out so that he could deal with vulture harassment a little bit easier? Not sure. He is getting a second gas as well. I mean, that's why he took this expansion, is what we're thinking. Wow, but I'm really curious to see what he does because he's got both techs, right? He's got the Mutalisk, he's got the Spire, he's got the Hydro Stand, so he could be getting lurker tech right now. But if he wanted to make lurkers, I don't know why he would spend the money on a Spire, you know? Unless, you know, he just wants both. He may decide that he wants to get some Mutalisks out and then use them to protect third base or something like that. And it looks like he's saving up larva. Well, let's see. We've got 3 or 4 larva on the map. Yeah, the Spire's completed, and we see, yeah, about 5 Mutalisks morphing is what it looks like. So he is going to go for that Mutalisk tech after all. Very prudent. I mean, it's obviously very good against tanks and vultures as well. So really interesting build here. The Hydralisks are out though, and that's, I guess, what I'm puzzled by is why he got the Hydralisks in the first place if he was going to go for the Spire tech. Maybe he, and again, I really just don't know. I mean, Oversky obviously even in 2004 is a better player than I will ever be, but so maybe he understands something different about this. What's going on? Maybe he scouted something and made the decision to go for the Spire after maybe he was scouted. Not sure. But in any case, the reality of the situation is that Nada has turrets going up, and they're just a moment too late. And these Mutalisks are going to get in here and pick off several ACVs before the turret's complete. Is he even going to be able to complete the turrets? He does complete one, and that's going to, yeah, all 3 complete just the right moment. So he's going to be driven back, but not before losing a few free SCVs. Timing just a little bit off there. You know, he did those turrets just like 5 seconds earlier to have them be up before the Mutalisks arrive. So beautiful timing there. Well, maybe not beautiful timing, but a nice timing to be able to get a few SCVs for Oversky. And he's continuing to build those Mutalisks. He's got a good clump of them there. Nada building up his bio forces as well. And those 3 tanks. That is interesting that he's got those 3 tanks. And, you know, that's a sign of that maybe he was expecting Hydralisks and lurkers. And so maybe that's why he continued making those tanks. He did get the factory pretty early on. And the Mutalisks are actually running in here and taking out turrets. And actually the repair job is effective, and he's able to keep that turret from going down. Surprised a little bit that he didn't switch targets and actually kill the SCVs, since that is kind of the main target. You don't want to kill turrets, you want to kill the turrets so that they don't attack you, so you can get away with killing more SCVs. You know, that's kind of the point of the Mutalisk. So now we see Oversky setting up to take that expansion behind his base, and he's got a lot of Mutalisks out, ladies and gentlemen. Still continuing to produce them is what it looks like. And but Nada is, this is really interesting. Nada is not taking the bait and falling back, right? He's actually just keeping his entire Marine force in the front with those tanks. And this is why he doesn't want anything to get picked off, because now that those Marines are gone, the Mutalisks can come in and pick off some of the stray Marines. And picking off those tanks would be a really big kill as well, actually. And he's actually going to be able to use this ridge for his advantage. And again, remember, this is 2004. Mutalisk clumping micro has not been invented yet. So he's just running around and kind of in a clump, which part of the point of clumping up your Mutalisks is you can focus fire easier, but it also means that it's harder for your opponent to focus fire down a single Mutalisk and kill them off. It's harder to target you down, especially if you're dodging back and forth left and right. You can't pick the injured Mutalisk, right? And but now Nada's losing a supply depot up here as well. He's lost several Marines, so these Mutalisks are starting to pay off now, starting to do effective damage. And those tanks, I'm a little bit worried about them if he jumps south. Oh, Mutalisk running a little bit too long, staying a little bit too long on top of them. And I'm a little bit surprised he's not going for those tanks. He's just going for Marine count. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. He can't really push out with tanks if he doesn't have the Marine medic to accompany it, right? So now he's going in here. He's going to get another free SCV kill. He's slowing down the production of the supply depots as well. And this is all buying time for him to get a third base in the meantime, too. But that Mutalisk ball is still pretty substantial. Still pretty substantial amount of Mutalisks here. And Nada is just kind of being a little bit desperate to dodge back and forth here in order to keep up with the Mutalisks. Now we can see that there's a science vessel being made and a radiator is being upgraded right now. So before too long, he'll have what he needs to deal with that. But then comes the follow-up. We're seeing Oversky's first-person view right now, and he is building a sizable force of lurkers and zerglings to go along with this. So as soon as that vessel is out, it's going to be the end of the game for the Mutalisks. But then it'll be start time for the lurkers, and he can actually theoretically burrow on the high ground and kill off the control tower, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going for the control tower. The science vessel is out. Is Irradiate completed yet? If it is, it still might not have enough energy for the Irradiate. Now he has to pick. Does he use the Irradiate on the Mutalisk, or does he use the Irradiate on one of the lurkers? And where's those tanks, by the way? The tanks would be really nice to have if they had siege mode. He may have never even gotten siege mode. There's the Irradiate, and the Mutalisk actually dies quickly before the Irradiate does much splash damage, or I guess area damage to the other Mutalisks. And he's out of Irradiates. He doesn't have a control tower, so he's going to have maybe one more science vessel, and that's it. There the tanks come in. Finally, they're able to arrive. They're able to pick off the pick off one of the lurkers and shell the other one to get it to force it away. So, siege tanks saving the day there. The Mutalisks, though, are pretty much unharmed. You know, and there's another group of mutilings being put out now. Again, remember, everything's on the line here. Nada and Oversky both at 1-1. If Nada gets overrun by Lurker Lynx, he's going to be eliminated, essentially, and Oversky will be advancing. Again, the other way around, though. If he loses those Lurker Lynx and he doesn't do a substantial amount of damage, and Nada can counterattack across the map and kill off his extra bases, Oversky is going to be out, right? So this next attack may decide the careers of both these players, essentially, or at the very least it's going to decide how they fare in this tournament. On the next battle, we'll see Nada is pushing out now. He does have 2 vessels out now. It looks like he built 1 vessel before. Oh, and he gets it irradiated off. Oversky, you need to Oversky doesn't realize. He doesn't realize that it's irradiated. He just moved his whole Mutalisk group back. He didn't realize it was irradiated. It did so much damage. His Mutalisks have been obliterated. Oh no, that is catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic. He needed those Mutalisks to harass the tanks, try and pick off the tanks in the meantime. When this battle happens, instead he has no Mutalisks. Maybe he has 1 Mutalisk that's badly damaged, but Nada's running across a really poor engagement location. Before the tanks are able to kill them off, he loses several Marines he didn't maybe need to, but he does push across with those tanks. So Nada is taking control of the other side now, and I don't believe Oversky is anywhere near getting enough tech to like have defilers. I could be wrong, though. We haven't seen his base in quite a while, but I don't think that's what he does. And actually a little bit of counterattack with some lurkers back at the base there, as I think what we just saw. I'm not sure. Did he run lurkers around the back, or did I just see a different spot on the map? Maybe I'm just crazy again. He's trying to buy time by burrowing these lurkers, letting them take some hits, falling back, and he's going to have to burrow in this location. Again, that lurker doing some damage to the surrounding zerglings with the irradiate damage. The Mutalisks are completely gone. These 3 lurkers are now going to die to the tank fire unless he pulls back. And Oversky has 1 chance to defend here. Nada is pushing in. He's going to get 1 lurker for free. This is the 1 defense. The entire OSL is on the line for Oversky with his defense right now. He's going with a bunch of zerglings. The tanks are doing damage to the Marines, but the zerglings get close. But he's eventually killing them all off. The lurker's coming from behind as well, but it's not enough. It is not enough. And Nada holds that position, and now he's going to push in. He's got 2 tanks. He's got a clump of medic Marines. He's getting his 3rd base up as well to follow up with the economic advantage just in case. And it looks like Oversky is going to be out of this tournament right now, or at least very unlikely to advance, as he loses his 2nd base, which, you know, is kind of his 3rd in a way. Yeah, this is just bad. And look, there's the reinforcements. That is, you know, the final nail in the coffin right there. The defiler mount is going down, but it's way too late. Way too late. You know, he's gonna lose his hive too. It looks like. But that's the finishing blow right there. The 2nd group of medic Marines going across the map, escorting the extra tanks. I believe there's another science vessel in the mix as well. He probably got the control tower back up again. And, you know, it just was not enough units. It was pretty well coordinated, I think. And, well, free science vessel. Okay, that's cool. I'll take it, but it's just not enough. Look at all those medic Marines. He could just A-move those medic Marines and win the game at this point. Oversky has 3 lurkers and several zerglings. Yeah, it's just pretty much over. You can't really fault him for fighting till the last and hoping for some kind of a miracle defense, because again, if he loses this game, he's pretty much eliminated from the Star League. But yeah, so he's pushing through this for now. Defense matrix on the Marine in order to soak up some of the initial hits, and there's just too much stuff on the ground barreling in. And we're going to see GG any moment now from Oversky because there's nothing else he can do. This might be one of those moments where, programmers, they stay in the game for an extra moment. There we go. There's the GG. Stay in the game for an extra moment just because they can't process it yet. They can't take it. And, sometimes you see players will take their hands off the keyboard and just feel bad for a minute before actually typing in that GG. So, Nada is going up to 2-1. Oversky's at 1-2. I think. Wait, no. Oversky's at... Is Oversky... What is the... Okay, hold on. Let me go back and look at what the situation is right now. Okay, so... Yeah, so Oversky lost to Boxer. That's right. I forgot if Oversky... Okay, so Oversky lost to Boxer, beat Kingdom, lost to Nada. So now Oversky is 1-2. Nada is 2-1. Boxer is... 2-0, and the last game is Boxer versus Kingdom. Yeah, so the fates have been decided. Oversky's been eliminated. He's at 1-2 because the best possible outcome would be... Kingdom... Hold on, wait. Kingdom is at 1... No, Kingdom is at 0-2. That's right. Yeah. So, So Boxer is either going to go 3-0 and put Kingdom at 0-3, and the best possible scenario would be Kingdom would be to beat Boxer, and then he'd be at 1-2. So there's no... Yeah, so Oversky is eliminated because there's no other way that it can happen. So we are still going to, I believe, have that last game between Boxer and Kingdom, and that will determine who will go up in first place, basically, I believe. Will it, though? Because even if... Let's say there's a tie where it's 2-1 and 2-1, where Boxer is 2-1 and Nada is 2-1. I think in that case, then they go to their game to determine the tiebreaker, and Boxer beat Nada. So yeah, so no matter what, Boxer is going to advance with in first place in the group, and Nada is going to advance in second. So it's pretty much been secured. So that's the case. I think the last game is still going to be played, though. I'm going to double check. So if you don't see the last game, then I guess it wasn't played, but I'm pretty sure it will be, and I'm going to see if I can, let me check here. I actually don't have the VOD. I want to see if I can track down that game so I can cast it for you guys, be a completionist about this, but in any case, should be fun to watch at the very least. Another PVT is always good between two good players. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about watching more Boxer play either. So anyway, that's going to do it for this game. GG, well played by Nada. He's going to advance to the round of 8, and so we're going to get to see more of him. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching.